Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and here in this video we're going to talk about Andor Season 2. And how supposedly fan input will contribute to Andor Season 2. So let's give this a read, shall we? Andor's Door, Diego Luna, recently discussed the series at Variety. Check out the excerpt. Quote unquote. The second season ends with where Rogue One starts. We're not changing the ending of Rogue One, so that's it. It's a nice feeling. It's like a long film. It has a beginning and end, and we all know what's going to happen. There is something interesting with the second season, which is that I have a different feeling every day I go on set. Now I know not just that the series was well received and that people liked it, but I know why they liked it. That's another tool we have these days through social media. We actually listen to audience and critics. We understand what things connected and what didn't connect. It's different of cool to have an opportunity to go and execute another season having this information. It's, in a way, a season that will end up representing the audience in a different way. Somehow the audience is part of the season because the interaction we had served as inspiration. And thank you! I feel like not many shows do that. Really taking what audience says and applies it. Well, I just should reverse that. Nowadays, I don't feel like many studios, movies, or shows do that. And it's really refreshing to hear that. It's really refreshing. This is interesting to hear. One of the strengths of Andor's season premiere is that it doesn't pander to fans, in my opinion. There's no silly moments like Ponda Baba appearing in Rogue One. However, listening to the audience can be a good thing, provided Tony Gilroy and his people are very selective of what to incorporate. And thank you, because that's also a motto I live by too. It's like, listen to what people say. Everyone says. And be selective of what they like. Be selective of what you enact on and what you have criticism about you being, because there are some people that talks out their asses, and there's some people who just want you to follow everything that they do to a T out of ego, and so I have to admit that just hearing that is okay. That's refreshing that they're going to take inspiration from critics. But I'm also at the same time with the last line that I read, which is, however, listening to the audience can be a good thing, provided Tony Gilroy and his people are very selective about what to incorporate. Because I think that you can take what fans said and apply it to the story in a good way. Not everything, because some things fan wants may not be able to. They might not be looking good on paper or on in action, if that's what you mean. If you get my meaning. So yeah, taking all these elements, I dig that. I'm not eager for the show to end because I loved it so far, and I look forward to season 2. I actually do too. I think that Andor is underrated. I thoroughly enjoyed Andor, and it was a really good show. I know some people didn't see it. I don't know why. I know some people didn't like Kenobi or Book of Boba, and that probably is the reason why. But if you guys are using those two shows as an excuse of not to watch Andor, I'm not saying Andor is the best thing ever, but it's really good, and I think it deserves a shot at um at least one watch through. Yes, they typically do an interval of three, where like the first two episodes are like setup. The third episode in each code or whatever is sequence is the action bit. So just keep in mind that if it seems boring, the first two episodes in each sequence is set up, but then the third episode in the sequence is where like the setup pays off, if that makes sense. So, I understand that the backlash of or the criticism, it felt too slow. I understand that because it did take a lot of time to set things up, but I can appreciate that looking back. And I've watched the show or the season in its entirety after, and after if all the episodes released, and I can better appreciate these slower parts because it contributes to the story in a pretty good way. So that's just me. What do you beautiful people think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind one another. I will talk to you 11 minutes later. May the force be with us all.